Sometimes in life you'll look up different recommendations for the movies that Tubi TV has to offer. Tubi TV is one of the most amazing streaming service because it's free with some ads here and there, but still, a few seconds of ads is worth watching a movie, right? Well, not too long ago, I watched what I felt was one of the worst Amityville movies ever, and that's saying something because there's a lot of them. Where do I begin with Amityville Backpack? Well, I guess I can start with a little bit of what I know from its creator, Evan Jacobs. Okay, so there's not really a whole lot of info on Evan Jacobs as a filmmaker because its IMDb doesn't really list a whole lot and not really a lot in his bio, and I can't really find any type of like links that lead to like him and the movies that he makes. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I just didn't look in the right places, but if you guys are aware of like maybe his production company or whatever, leave me something down in the comments. But from what I gathered, he's someone that does a lot of these low budget movies. And I say that very loosely because yes, his movies are technically movie length by being like a little bit around an hour and 10 minutes, sometimes longer, but really that hour and 10 feels like it's 2 hours because how do I say this? I feel like he writes an outline and with like some basic lines here or there. But the problem is the way I think he directs his actors is that he gives them pretty much like the basics of, oh, hey, here's the dialogue, here's what you have to say, but try to pad it out, try to pad it out. And the problem is a lot of repeated words, a lot of repeated dialogue happens because I feel like the actors are just improvising. And yeah, I did that once with my Evil Dead remake, but we never repeated dialogue. We never, did repetition. What we did was I had the outline and I gave it to the actors saying, hey, here's the scene. This is where I want its direction to go. If you need to put in your own words, go ahead. And we stuck with that. We never repeated the same thing. But I'm getting ahead of myself because I haven't really discussed the plot of Amityville Backpack. So in Amityville Backpack, we follow Luther Boots, who is kind of a dork, works at this company that we don't really get a whole lot of info as to what the company does. And his boss apparently hates him, even though, why did he hire him in the first place? As he keeps mentioning, he should have hired his own son. And the other thing with this movie is there's some narration that happens here and there that you don't know where it's coming from. And it's randomly sparse with some like newscasters that are saying events that happen in the movie, but we never see. And that's another problem, is you're telling instead of showing. And Penny's barking at me because I'm not paying attention. I'm sorry, baby. I'll be there in a second. Here, let me show you. I know you're upset, but I gotta work. I gotta do this video. I'm almost done. This video is not going to be long, baby. Because there's really not a whole lot to talk about with this movie. Yeah, I know. Maybe you and me could make a better movie. Yeah. You want to do that? Yeah, we'll make a better Amityville movie. I guarantee it. It'll be called Amityville Penny. Oh, wait. I think. Yeah. That's a perfect idea, don't you think? Okay, with that taken care of, let's continue. So he finds this backpack at a yard sale, and this is the one credit I will give the movie is they actually made a prop backpack, which even though it doesn't look the best, it's decent. And then the backpack starts doing weird things like killing people. with one of the most annoying sounds that for whatever reason, it's like the backpack has a drill inside of it, and that's killing people somehow, but you don't actually see like the drill go into people or whatever. In fact, when somebody gets killed by it, we see them screaming or whatever, but then we jump cut to dismembered bodies, but just certain parts like hands, feet, and the brain, which are very obviously like stuff you get from Halloween decorations from Spirit Halloween, or not even that, just like from the dollar store. And yeah, that's basically the plot of the movie. Is Luther is pretty much oblivious to what's going on until the very end. And there's this whole weird subplot of him wanting to get this girl Delilah to, go on a date with him. In what I think is one of the most annoying scenes in the movie is when he's trying to convince her to go on a date. And he's talking about going to this place on the beach that has an arcade, and he keeps bringing up all the different stuff in the arcade. And again, he says repeated lines of like, oh, there's a lot of stuff to do there. There's a lot of stuff to do there. They got pizza. You like pizza? And he just goes on and on. And seriously, this is one of the worst movies. And the thing that's the kicker, this is not the first Amityville movie this guy's done. He's got Amityville Death Toilets and Amityville Backrooms, which I've seen somebody talk about on their channel and someone react to the movie, and it's just as bad, if not worse. Which, how do you make it worse? Yeah, so, but if you want a movie to make fun of for a while, Amityville Backpack is on Tubi. Amityville Backrooms used to be on Tubi, but now it's not on there, or at least not in my location from where I tried to look it up. But if you want to watch the movie, you have to buy it for $10.99. Now look, if you want to see a better Amityville movie, check out my movie on my PayHeap store, Amityville Lockdown, which is $14.14. Don't ask me why I priced it like that, but I did. But if you want to watch it, it's on there. Till then, I'll see you guys later.